Good morning. Yet another scorching one. Welcome to Dice and Bolts, the ongoing series of clips where I take a look at the core dice mechanic behind a lot of the games which grace my role-playing shelf. And I've just noticed how badly burnt I got yesterday. I went out without putting any sun cream on. Bad idea. Just the one that I'm going to have a look at first thing this morning, which is Ironsworn. I have bleated and tweeted and gone on about this massively. I think it's possibly one of my favourite systems and games that I've got at the moment by a guy called Sean Tomskin, ironswornrpg.com. The core rules of this are available for free game from Drive-Through RPG. Then there's the expansion Delve. The print version is about 30 quid. It's beautiful. It's black and white, mostly text, but every so often there's some phenomenal high quality photography that goes into it. It's a beautiful game front to back. It is a powered by the apocalypse adjacent game, so it uses a lot of the same kind of ideas like making moves and sort of 3 grades of success. So fail but still moves the story forwards, partial success and complete success, and it calls it a fail, a weak hit and a strong hit. And the mechanic uses 2 d10s and a d6, and it's quite elegant. Whereas with standard powered by the apocalypse, it's 2d6 plus your attribute that you're rolling for, and then you're looking for 7 to 9 or 10 plus. What you do with Ironsworn, this is your action dice. Okay, so you would add your relevant stat modifier and your other modifiers to this dice. Okay, so you want this one as high as possible, effectively. Stat modifiers go from +0 to +3. The most that I've seen that you can kind of leverage in play is an extra +2 on top of that. So the most you're going to get is +5. So the highest you can get is 11, which is good. These are the challenge dice. They're not modified in any way. And what you want is for your action dice plus modifiers to beat, not meet or beat, but to beat the action dice. Okay? If you beat one of them, then you've scored a weak hit. If you've beat both of them, then it's a strong hit, which is a success with no complications. If you miss, then it's a miss. You pay the price. You move on. The story keeps going forwards. You've got 2 extra little mechanics, and that's it. That's the dice and bolts of it. You've got 2 extra little mechanics that can influence this. One of which is a mounting score that you've got called momentum. So some moves allow you to increase your momentum, and on the side of the character sheet there's a chart that goes from like -3 all the way up to +10, which is the highest that it can be. Any point after you've made a roll, you can burn your momentum, which is normally reset it to 2. Sometimes you'll reset it lower than that, but it's usually back to 2. And you can cancel any challenge dice which are less than the momentum. So say, for example, this roll here is a miss. If we've got +0, it's a miss, and we fail to do whatever we want to do. We have a price to pay. We're negotiating safe passage through an elven tribe's lands. That means that they're probably going to take us and send us off into the woods as a sacrifice to their gods because of the iron plague that's hit the land. It's a very story-driven game. It's brilliant. If we had a momentum score of 8, we've done quite well, and we've banked up a lot of this kind of stored success. We can burn that 8 momentum to cancel both of these dice, which then means that our action total is better than both of these dice, which means we then instead score a strong hit, which means that we've managed to negotiate safe passage, and you probably find that they would help us on our ongoing quest to save the footage, whatever it chooses to be. So there's one that you've got, which is a player resource, and a lot of moves. When you get like a weak hit, you can say, right, you either do what you want, or you can do what you want, spend some of your other resources, but gain a point of momentum and bank that for later. And on a lot of strong hits, you'll take +1 or sometimes even +2 momentum. And I was playing in the game the other day, and I think I made a strong hit on a roll. I had +2 for one of my asset cards, which is like a feat or an add-on, and +2 for the move itself. So I gained 4 momentum just from one really good roll. So it's a very up and down resource. The other mechanic is matches. So if you get a match on the challenge dice, okay, if it's a match and you've had a fail and a miss, effectively, you introduce a new negative twist to the story as it's going on. So this kind of thing, it would actually add the narrative twist that this tribe of elves are actually cannibals, and they're not going to take you. They're going to take you and imprison you, or not going to just stonewall you. They're going to take you and eat you. Okay. If, however, it is a match and a strong hit, because it can't be a match and a weak hit, because obviously your two dice can be exactly the same. This is a 6. These are not iron. There's no custom Ironsworn dice. Q Workshop do a massive range of runic dice. I'm going to get myself some. These are I didn't want to use one of my standard polyhedral sets that I keep, because I don't like using the 10 to 100 dice goblin. You get yourself a nice strong hit and a match. You get a positive narrative twist. So that's like a player intrusion. And the way the game plays is that you can either play it solo or co-op, which is where you've got like no GM, but you'll kind of negotiate the story between yourselves, or guided, which is a more traditional sense RPG. So that's the dice and bolts of it. D6 plus mods, rolling to beat 2 different D10s. Miss if you don't beat either of them. Weak hit if you beat one of them. Strong hit if you beat both of them. That's the dice and bolts. Roll well, and I will see you around.